There we go. Hello, Internet people. Hi. So, Courtney is busy getting her bridesmaid dress pinned and set up and everything for alterations. That's kind of important. So, yeah, it's kind of more important that she does that than, hang out with us two doofuses and talk about games. So, so she will not be joining us this evening, but she is doing very important work. So, yeah. So instead, you just get the two of us. But we have a lot of news to get through. Yeah, that was a good direct. There's a lot of surprising stuff coming out. So, and then, if you haven't already, so people viewing the VODs and listening to the podcast, you'll be too late at this point. But if you're watching live and you haven't already, go vote in the 8-Bit Adventures Game Night poll on Facebook. So on Thursday, the poll is to continue playing Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm kind of getting pretty close to finishing up my New Game Plus playthrough with the Golden Deer. Or, since so many people requested, I am gonna eat my words, and if the people will it, I will play WoW Classic to appease them. In the hopes that I get some subs, because this is September. So if I cater to your whims, please consider throwing $2.50 to Twitch to sub for the month. And then you get a cool emote for that. So think about that. Think about that, folks.
Think about the frustration you'll see Sean experience and
oh my god,
the inconveniences.
I think my favorite one was like, what shall I do? Hang out with my Golden Deer bros and like have fun, or kill 8,724 spiders to make one silver.
Yeah.
To make a single silver piece.
Or to get a quest drop.
Yes.
Of which you need 12.
Yes. Yep. And then have to quit halfway through because I ran out of ammunition. So, yeah. Because right now, WoW Classic is winning in the polls. So, if you especially do want to see me play more Fire Emblem, you should go vote. Because there's a bit of a deficit to make up. And if you do want to see me play WoW Classic, well, then you should continue extending the lead. So,
vote for him to go on Benediction server so I can gank him.
No. Nope. Character's already made. I'm basically remaking my main character, a Night Elf Hunter on Windseer, which is a essentially casual Eastern Time realm, because I don't care about hardcore. Also, I would like to not quit. If I'm going to play, I don't want to hit Stranglethorn Vale and then like just throw my computer out the window.
Oof.
I just bought it. I can't. I just bought it like 6 months ago. I can't already throw it out the window.
I was just questing in Hillsbrad, and that was a pain.
Oh, that place too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Because they have green turtles, so I will need to go there at some point. So. But yeah. Also, I'm still not quite sure what's causing me to drop frames. It's not a whole lot, but it's like 3%. I don't know. I may just need to power cycle my router. It's also Megan's watching Netflix, so that may also have something to do with it. She likely is watching Netflix and has the stream up on another TV. So, yeah, we might in fact be like doing a lot of streaming right now. But shall we get started?
Yeah.
Okay. And I figure we'll get through the non-Nintendo Direct news really quick, and then get into the spicy meat porridge that is the Nintendo Direct. So, show's going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up on episode 156, Pokemon Masters enters the fray. Dark Crystal released on Netflix, spicy Nintendo Direct news, and much, much more on the 8-Bit Adventures podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 8-Bit Adventures podcast, bringing you the latest and greatest geeky news of the week. I am your host, Sean Hayes, and with me is just one co-host just this week, Josh York.
One, but worth. I mean, can you put a value?
I cannot put a value on co-hosts. You are both invaluable.
There you go.
So I mentioned the pre-show, but Courtney is busy taking care of her bridesmaid dress stuff for my wedding. So, yeah, that's kind of important. And Megan would be very upset if Courtney didn't take care of that and instead hung out with us and talked about games. So, yeah, kind of more important that she does that. So, but yeah, aside from that, yeah, just, oh my God, just so much stuff going on.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I thought about today. I'm like, oh man, your wedding's really coming up.
Yes, it is. And I still have so much to do.
Yeah.
Mostly table cards. I still have to make table cards, which means I have to make Speedy and Monty comics because those will turn into table cards, which will then have to get printed and colored and cut out and all that stuff.
Right.
And everybody's name's written on them, and yeah. So, but we have our guest poster, I guess. So we're not doing a guest book. We're just doing a big poster. And folks that watched the art streams will recognize it because I worked on it on an art stream. And so we got it printed out on poster board. So it's like a nice big foam board type thing. So nice and sturdy. And yeah. And I still have to order the playlist.
Oh, geez.
Like, we have all the stuff on the playlist.
Yeah.
We just have to put it in an order.
Yeah.
So, and I think I'm going to have to take charge of that because Megan was listening to it and she's like, I don't know, a lot of the songs like kind of have the same beat or whatever. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to do some BPM analysis.
Okay.
It'll be fine. I am going to do this. Like, it's not just there's fast and there's slow. Like, there are several orders of fast and several orders of slow.
Correct.
This will make a sine wave of BPMs.
All right.
That's the goal anyway.
All right.
Just a constant sine wave throughout the whole event. So yeah. This is relevant because Josh has agreed to.
I want to see just an exponential growth rate.
so it starts out slow and it just progressively faster and faster. Oh, it's like those YouTube videos where it's like every time they say this word, it like speeds up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if we have anything that fast by the end of it. Because I mean, the average age of people attending the wedding is not quite young. So I mean, also want them to be able to keep up.
Make them work.
make them work for it.
Make them work.
Oh.
Make them get down.
Oh, I'm already in enough trouble with over the whole DJ playlist situation as it is.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So no, I can't do that. Of course, I've already swapped out a couple of stuff on the fly, which I think I talked about, like putting in like Magic Sword for like announcement music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I'm pretty sure people don't want to hear me rambling about my wedding plans. So, why don't we get into this week's news?
Okay.
So, Pokemon Masters is out. This is a game which is basically like a sort of a Pokemon battling simulator where you pick a Pokemon trainer and they get a limited list of Pokemon that are associated with them, and that's the Pokemon that you get. And then it has a kind of a more fleshed out battle system than Pokemon Go does, which is more reminiscent from the handheld games. So I have not picked it up as my phone is kind of running out of storage space. And I don't want to have to juggle apps in order to keep a game. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah. And at this point, given that I've been playing so much Fire Emblem, I would rather have Fire Emblem Heroes than Pokemon Masters. So, but yeah. So, I honestly don't know kind of what the attach rate or how it's fared. I think it might be a little too soon. I just know, like, I don't know if people are talking about it like they were talking about Pokemon Go.
It's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah. So,
And
I
I
think,
guess, your average Pokemon layman, so.
yeah, I think it might also be getting buried under anytime any news about Pokemon comes out. The community kind of reignites the bring back National Dex conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like the Pokemon company announces like a shirt, and people, like, the whole comment section will just be flooded with bring back National Dex. So, or, something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can look up real close. Pokemon Masters. And just see. Okay. 10 million downloads in 4 days.
Seems like
so,
a lot.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. So, yeah, a lot of downloads. I know a lot of folks were very upset about not being able to download it on certain Android devices. And it looks like the people making it have acknowledged that and are working on a solution for it. So I don't know. I mean, in my mind, this is just Apple making up for the fact that you can't run most like, I want to call it PC games, because they're called that for a reason, on Mac devices. So Apple makes up for it with the fact that, like, if you're going to do a mobile game, you pretty much have to run it on iOS. Unless it's made by Google or something.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that there's a kind of a more sophisticated battle system for Pokemon out on mobile devices. Because I mean, the Pokemon Go battle system is just
I don't even know what it is.
So it's basically your Pokemon has 2 attacks. The first attack, which is a standard attack, which is whenever you tap the screen. And then the second one is you essentially build up a meter, and then you push the button, and it does its special attack, which is just a high-powered attack. And that's it. And then you can swipe to dodge, but the responsiveness of it isn't very good. And then I know when you're doing certain battles, you can also shield, which, like, that would add something, but you can't do it in every battle. Like, I don't think you can do it in gym battles, which is where it would matter. So, yeah.
Right.
Or raids, where it would matter. So yeah, I'm sick of, like, the battling system being like just tapping your phone as fast as you can. Like, if I wanted to play that way, I would play one of those stupid cookie clicker games.
Ugh.
And yeah, like, I want something with a little bit more strategy to it.
Yeah, sounds awful.
Even if it was you had 4 buttons that said, like, dodge, shield, attack, and, like, special attack that filled up when you hit a gauge, and then made it turn-based, so that way, I don't know, it's a little more tactical or something. But yeah. Also, just the fact that, like, it's kind of impossible to do raids here in Berkshire County because like, if you need a group of 20 people, good luck finding 20 people centered around a particular place ready to go and do a raid.
Yeah.
And like Warcraft, you definitely need, almost all of those people to show up. Because if you don't, and you're trying to do it, like, yourself or with one other person, it really doesn't work out well.
Yeah. That game is totally based on people living in metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. It's really hard for rural people to get the full experience.
Yeah. I did see the other day, though. I think it was on Saturday, because I went to pick up my suit. There was a group, kind of just hanging out. It was like a group of like 8 people hanging out and playing Pokemon Go. So that was nice. It's nice to see, like, actual groups of people still playing it, not just like me on the corner. Sure. or more likely me at the post office, like picking up my mail, catching a couple Pokemon, and then going to work.
Yeah.
Which is how it usually goes. But yeah. So basically Pokemon Masters, they pick, like, a bunch of the big profile trainers from, like, either the anime or the games, and they give them a bunch of iconic Pokemon assigned with them. And so that's who you pick. I know one of the neat little Easter eggs is, I guess there is a, I forget what they're called, like karate fighter or fighting person or whatever is like the name of the NPC that you would fight, is a character that is in that game, in Pokemon Masters. And he mentions how like he's afraid of dragon type Pokemon and especially Hyper Beam because like he used to be a security guard at the gift shop kind of a thing. And it's like, that was an actual NPC in one of the Pokemarts in like red and blue that would talk about like Lance is a dragon type user and well, watch out for Hyper Beam kind of a thing. So like that, like years later, they actually decided to make him like a character kind of a thing.
Funny.
In this game. So yeah, so that, I mean, that's like a neat little Easter egg. And I hope they do more stuff like that. I love it when games pick like unnamed NPCs and then turn them into a thing.
Yeah.
Like Gatekeeper. Like everybody loves Gatekeeper in Three Houses.
Zappy Boy.
Yeah. In fact, like, yeah, we not only learned that Zappy Boy has a name, they actually like incorporated him into the story with Sarfang. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Stuff like that. Love it. That's probably one of my favorite kind of literary things. And not just because that's like the entire impetus for the 8-Bit Adventures comic. But yeah. So, yeah, I don't know if I will pick up Pokemon Master. I mean, maybe I'll try it out. It's a thing where I need more space to do it. And I don't know what to get rid of since I use my phone for work. So I also have like a bunch of work related apps that I have to have on there.
Get rid of the work apps.
I mean, I suppose I could. Just be like, sorry guys, Pokemon Masters is my job now.
Yep.
This is what it should be.
Yeah, it should.
Oh. So, but yeah. So we'll see. I mean, 10 million downloads is pretty strong. Pretty strong.
Yeah.
I mean, that
seems
like if World of Warcraft had those numbers, people would be like, "Oh my god, the game's so alive now."
I think it's probably approaching.
I mean, it might be. Yeah.
I think they were below 2 million a few months ago. And I don't know, that's just by judging the queue times on some of those servers.
Yeah.
And how crazy that first week was.
Yeah.
But it'll drop off. That's going to drop off.
Maybe.
I'm curious how much.
I think that'll be the interesting thing, to see how much it drops off and whether and what size of a core population remains.
People are, for whatever reason, and I kind of get it because there are some aspects, like I said last week, that I really like, but we can talk about it when we get to
Yes. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Quest log.
But yeah. So next up, Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance is out on Netflix.
Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet. I still need to finish Stranger Things.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
A guy in one of my other D&D groups last night said it was really good.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it.
I was making my normal, like, I don't like the way the Muppets look or whatever, the puppets, whatever they are. Just every time I look at it, I'm like, it looks so fake. I just like, I get it. That's the stylistic choice. It's just like, for whatever reason, it takes me out of it.
Yeah.
And he's like, you would probably like it if you like kind of darker stories and weird things. I was like, yeah, you're right. It might be worth it just a look to maybe steal ideas and get my own imagination going a bit.
Like, even the original movie fits your desires for ultra dark fantasy. Okay. And it's like, but like, because it was Jim Henson and everything, it was like, oh, this is a kid's movie, and then the kids watch it and they're like traumatized. Like, it's not quite Watership Down levels.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like
you've never watched Neverending Story. Are you the one who's never seen it?
Correct, but I am familiar with the whole was it what's the horse's name?
Artax.
Artax, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Artax!
And now that's traumatizing.
Artax!
Oh, yeah. That was so somebody cosplayed that at Dragon Con. Was that scene?
Jesus. Oh my
was like
God.
was like they were just carrying like a horse head around with them everywhere, and it like sinking into the ground, and they were just like screaming at the horse head.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yep. It's like that. That's like some messed up levels of cosplay right there, just going around like traumatizing people.
Like, Neverending Story is, the premise is literally Oblivion is destroying everything.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just like everything's gonna end unless whatever the
Yeah.
narrator can figure out the princess's name.
But yeah, Dark Crystal is almost like I guess like Black Cauldron levels of kind of like dark fantasy, but it did well as opposed to Black Cauldron. I guess like people just had different expectations of Jim Henson, and they saw, you know, Dark Crystal and were like, oh yeah, this is cool. And I mean, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was successful enough to warrant sequels and everything.
What about do you ever watch Labyrinth?
Oh, I love Labyrinth.
I've never seen Labyrinth. That's one with Bowie, right?
Yes, we're gonna have to do a night where we watch Labyrinth.
But that's another one that's
kind
of like dark and messed up, isn't it?
Yes.
So just that was just the 80s. The 80s
Yeah.
were just a weird time all around.
But yeah, I mean, best part about Dark Crystal in both series is they have these little monsters that are apparently the whole species is called Fizzgig, and not just like the one character in the original movie, where they're like these little fur balls. They look like giant tribbles, but they then have little beady like yellow eyes and a little like, you know, almost like cat-like nose, and then like tiny little hands and feet, and then like 90% of their body is a mouth. It's like the whole thing just opens up into this giant mouth with like teeth, and they're, yeah, I want to say like 90% mouth, 8% fury, 2% fur. And they're just awesome.
What's it called?
Fizzgig.
Fizzgig. Oh, okay. I see a picture now. Whoa.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. Fulfills the role of the weird little annoying, like cute furry creature for your standard RPG.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's very Xenoblade.
Or even Final Fantasy. Very JRPG.
Kinda, yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. But yeah. So I am super excited to see it. We've got to finish up Stranger Things before jumping in on that. It might be a series I end up watching myself. I don't know if Megan will watch it, which will make it easier to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I have heard good things about it. I know there are some instances where I guess the CGI kind of does weird things because it's like CGI and puppetry, which I'm a little disappointed with because I thought it was going to be all practical effects and puppetry, but yeah. So, up next, Astral Chain.
It's out.
It's out. I had a moment where I was like, "Is it out? Oh no!"
Yeah.
So yeah, this game's out. Apparently, it was getting review bombed on Metacritic to register as like I don't know why. I don't know. People being upset that it's only out for Switch. People upset that it's not Bayonetta 3 or whatever or something. But Metacritic basically scrubbed those scores, and now it's like a 9.0.
Yeah, I've watched a bunch of YouTubers review it and heard good things.
I think there was a bunch of folks that were also just like rating it like a 1-star game because you play as a cop. For that reason, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but you're like a demon fighting cop.
Yeah, it's weird, like an alien demon fighting cop.
Yeah,
because I've heard it's kind of like demons versus aliens, which just blends all sorts of weird stuff.
I'm totally into that. It's fine.
Yep,
I like that. Fine.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just this one's getting put on the backlog for me. Wow, this got me right now.
Yeah. I did hear them talk about it on Nintendo Voice Chat, so IGN's Nintendo podcast, and the way they were describing how like the game's structured, I was listening to it and I'm like, oh my god, it's just Fire Emblem Three Houses all over again.
Yeah,
it's like you do combat missions, and then in between the combat missions, you like walk around town and like talk to people and build relationships and like pick up trash. And I was just like, that's just Garrick Bach all over again.
Get people.
I was like,
cats out of trees. And
I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Is this going to be another thing where I'm like, I'll pass on this game? And then Josh picks it up. and then talks about it. And then I'm like, well, all right, now I'll try it out. And then next thing I know, 200 hours later, oh,
I know.
jeez. It's like, I can't do it. Zelda's coming out. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, the big one for me is going to be Borderlands 3 when that comes out.
And Daemon X Machina is coming out soon, too.
I know. I really want that one. It's just a bunch are going to have to get put on the backlog for a little bit, I guess.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Save it for Christmas break.
Yeah. Or just whenever there's a dry spell, like between like October and Final Fantasy VII in March.
For you, yeah.
There's
right.
not a lot that I'm super pumped about, so there'll be time.
Oh, that's right. Is 8 out right now? The 8 remaster?
I was going to mention that. You didn't write it.
Yeah.
But yes, came out yesterday.
There we go.
So that's another one. I'm going to wait a little bit on that for the modders on PC to like convert the graphics mods from the old Steam version to this new remaster version, just so it looks like really
super good.
So what I've heard is the new character models they made for this 8 look really nice. Ooh. But like the backgrounds and some of the other stuff is a little fuzzy and pixely. Okay. Whereas they had fixed basically everything on the other one. Like everything was they used AI learning to upgrade all the backgrounds and character like enemy models and stuff like that in the world map. So I'll wait like a month or so until they get all those mods fixed, and I'm definitely gonna play that game again. It's one of the only ones I've never actually beat.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah, I've gotten real close to the end. I just never beat it.
Yeah,
I've started it like 10 different times.
Yeah,
even though it's one of my favorite Final Fantasies, maybe my favorite Final Fantasy.
Nice.
It definitely has the best music of all the Final Fantasies, I think. Which is, that's my opinion. I really like the soundtrack on 8 a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm really familiar with a lot of music from different Final Fantasy games. Now that I think about it.
I mean, being a bit of an RPG nerd, it's like that's one of the things about JRPG soundtrack. And the composer for a lot of those early Final Fantasies, Nobuo Uematsu, he's like pretty famous for being pretty prolific and amazing.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's right up there with Koji Kondo, and I mean those two are basically like right up there. And as far as
did Chrono Trigger, what's his name? I forget his name, but he's done a lot. He did Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. He did what's the other one? He did Xenogears and maybe the Xenoblades too.
Oh, okay.
I think.
All right. Yeah. But yeah. So Astral Chain, it's out. I guess I would say if you want to play some kind of high action sort of sci-fi game with kind of that breakup in gameplay that Three Houses had, definitely check it out. Also, like on missions, depending on how you do, you get ranked on them, and that your rank gives you, I don't know, bonus stuff or something.
Okay. I mean, that's standard for Platinum games because they're all about making action games where like you are rewarded for playing well.
Yep.
So it's
like doing combos and not spamming like a certain move.
Yeah, like being good at relatively difficult like control schemes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would not do well with that. I'd be like, I want to be the guy that masters this one move and just uses it again and again. So yeah. And then today, right before the podcast, so I was made sure I was like, okay, I had to double check and be like, okay, is it 6 p.m. Eastern time or is it 6 p.m. Pacific time? And it was Eastern time, so I was like, great, Nintendo for once had a direct where we're actually getting the news before the podcast. So a lot of big announcements. So we'll run through them really quick, and we'll talk about any ones that seem particularly interesting, which I'd imagine right off the bat, Overwatch is actually coming to Nintendo Switch. I know this kind of leaked like a couple days ago, but yeah, so October 15th. So also coming soon, and not like Blizzard TM soon. Like there's an actual date on it. So yeah, I think, given that it's already on consoles, this was, I mean, if they can get it working, I know Paladins like actually runs like 60 frames a second on Switch, so
Okay.
yeah. So here's hoping that they can at least make it smooth.
Paladins, you mean not Overwatch?
Yeah. Totally not Overwatch.
Totally not Overwatch.
One of the things that I'm a little peeved about that Blizzard also did with Diablo is so like if you have Overwatch on PC, it's you will be able to log in with your Blizzard account, but it will be considered a separate profile. So if you unlocked any skins or anything on the PC version, they will not transfer over to this version.
Okay.
So I know that is a killer for a lot of people. Or, if you unlocked it on any other console. So they're all platform locked. So So that kind of killed the enthusiasm for me. Also, the fact that we have Diablo and Overwatch, but no Hearthstone, which I thought for sure would have been like a total fit for Switch. Especially since the Switch screen is a touch screen. Like, I don't know if a lot of people know that. Yeah, it is technically a touch screen. Yeah. Yeah, it does have touchscreen capability. So, I mean, yeah, like you totally could do Hearthstone on it. Like, I mean, if it can run on a phone, it can totally run on Switch. And that would actually probably get me back into playing Hearthstone, honestly. So yeah, but yeah, Overwatch October 15th. So coming out today is a game called Super Kirby Clash, which looks like basically a giant boss rush game in which you play with 3 other people and you make an RPG adventuring party, complete with jobs, and each job has like different roles. So like it's like a healer, a tank, like a DPS, a support person, all that stuff, and you're just fighting Kirby bosses. So I don't know. I guess it's like free to start, so which is kind of a weird thing. Maybe taking like a Mario Run kind of mode with it, where it's like you get a certain number of levels for free and then you have to pay. But yeah, I don't know. I might check it out, but I mean, if it's required to play with other people, I don't know. Maybe not, because then it's relying on other people picking up the game. But yeah. So I mean, more stuff that incorporates a job class system. I am all for, because I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
But I don't know, like, if you get special skills or spells or anything like that. So it might just be more like picking a role. But yeah, I mean, just the fact that there's like a healer class in Kirby to heal people up seems pretty. And naturally, you get different hats depending on your role, and little costumes and everything.
That sounds very Kirby.
Yeah, but yeah, today. Previously, no word of it whatsoever, and then just, oh yeah, by the way, here's a bunch of stuff today. That will happen a number of times during this news breakdown of just a whole bunch of stuff that Nintendo was like, yeah, we didn't talk about this, but have it now. Next up, the return of the Obra Dinn, which is like the whole game is like in black and white, like almost like a drawn picture.
Yeah, I've seen it. Didn't seem like it was for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's for people that, if you like kind of investigation puzzle type games, it's a lot of like, you use this little weird object reading compass like thing to figure out how people died. And I guess you're like an insurance salesman that's trying to figure out what happened on this ship. And so you're looking into how people died to try and piece together like basically this big forensic investigation to figure out what happened on this boat. But yeah, so, and that's fall of 2019. So, next up, Little Town Hero, coming out October 16th. This looks like some kind of, interesting little JRPG like game, in which you use ideas to fight monsters. I definitely didn't have comments turned on during this part of the presentation, because when they mentioned, oh, Game Freak's been working on it, which I remember they announced it way back when, I can just imagine the reaction being, oh, so the reason why we don't have all these features in Pokemon Sword and Shield is because Game Freak's been working on this kind of generic looking JRPG. So at least that's what the arguments would be. I think it definitely has a little bit of charm to it. It makes me think of like it kind of has a little bit of a Dragon Warrior, like if Dragon Warrior Chibi feel to it.
Yeah, Nino Kuni kind of somewhat reminds me
Yeah,
of.
I could see that. Yeah.
Actually, a lot. I'm looking at something about music by Toby Fox.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, Toby Fox is doing all the music for it. Yeah.
You know what? Pokemon people, leave Game Freak alone. Let them do other games. Holy moly! Like they want to try different stuff. I'm sure there's a ton of creative people that work for this company that want to try to do different things. Let them do damn different things. Holy moly!
Yep.
Can't stand that. Let people like try stuff.
Yeah. I have a feeling what their thought would be is, yes, we would love for them to try different things.
In Pokemon.
Just not when they're number one, in Pokemon, and then number two, like let them work on different games when they're also not supposed to put out a Pokemon game. Also, let's not have Pokemon come out every year.
Yeah, I would say that.
I definitely would agree with that. But yeah, so I'm gonna kind of wait to see more of this game before picking it up, because I know certain other RPGs that looked cool didn't pan out very well. Yeah. Quest 64.
Shots fired.
Yeah, I'm calling that one out. God, that game's so bad.
Pretty big consensus on that one.
Yeah. Like had some pretty revolutionary systems for a 64 game.
Interesting,
but just
not done well.
But unfortunately, it was like, having 2 or 3 interesting systems didn't save the 97% of the rest of the game.
Yeah, I played that right after Final Fantasy VII was like the first big JRPG that I was like, oh my god, this game style is amazing. So I'm going through and trying to play every different type of JRPG I could.
It would be really difficult to go.
I'm like, oh, awesome! There's a RPG for the N64. Cool. I rented it, and I'm like, this is disappointing.
Yeah.
That was just the feeling. Like, oh, this is it's cool.
Yep. One of these days I will actually like play through it, because I picked it up at J Street when it was still open for like $10. Ooh. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to suffer through this.
You paid too much.
We're in this together. We're in this together. So yeah. Speaking of Nintendo 64, there are some unusual 64 things coming out. So let's get to the more unusual one first. Bethesda gave an announcement and was like, "Oh, hey, we're releasing." So for those of you that have played our games and everything, you'll remember this one. And I'm just thinking like, "Oh, cool." So they'll have like some really weird like Elder Scrolls type thing coming out for Switch or whatever. They're re-releasing Doom 64 on November 22nd for the Nintendo Switch. Sure. Not even a remastered version, just Doom 64.
Just Doom 64.
And I'm just like,
yeah, sure.
Who's the audience for this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, this is the first time that it's been released since it was originally on the Nintendo 64. And I was just like, okay, you do you. You do you, Bethesda.
Yeah, why?
I did predict that third-party companies are going to be doing some really pushing their stuff. This isn't what I thought. So, but on the other front, Banjo and Smash out today. So, I'm super excited for that. Not just because I will automatically have it downloaded from having the Fighters Pass, but it'll be cool to see Banjo and Kazooie doing all sorts of stuff. And if it's anything like Joker, I don't know if they did stuff for Hero, but when they did Joker, they also included like a whole bunch of like stickers and like special Persona spirits and everything. So if they did that, like if they did a whole bunch of like Banjo related spirit battles, that would be super cool to unlock, maybe like Bottles, Mumbo, Gruntilda, all those characters would be great.
Is Persona 5 on the Switch?
I don't think it is.
Oh, I'm surprised.
I think they're coming out with some kind of Persona game, but it's like some kind of off like off-series Persona game.
Well, they're doing like they're doing Persona 5 Royal Edition, which is
That's what it is.
That's okay. So that's Persona 5 with a whole new character added and like more story stuff added to the game. Is that coming to Switch?
Oh,
too?
Persona 5S revealed for Nintendo Switch and PS4, according to Polygon. Persona 5 Scramble, the Phantom Strikers.
Yeah, I think that's something different. I'm surprised because that was Persona 5 was a pretty huge game. I'm really surprised they're not trying to get that on the Switch.
Oh, you know what? It's being developed by Atlas and Omega Force, which is a Koei Tecmo studio. So, yeah, it might be more like, Persona 5 Warriors, which is nothing at all like Persona.
Okay, yeah, not at all.
Oh, I guess in June, I don't know. There's another thing saying like there is no plan to bring Persona 5 Royal to other consoles.
That's too bad. That's a game I started playing and for whatever reason fell off, but I always kind of think I want to get back into it. Because it's again very Fire Emblem Three Houses like, but I guess Fire Emblem Three Houses is like Persona. It's reversed because Persona came out first. A lot of people were saying that with like. Persona 5 is all about your social connections with your party. Yep. So like there's main story missions and then like each day like, oh, I want to go hang out with my friends at the coffee shop, or I'm going to go to the batting cages and do this and up my certain stat and like do all different types of things.
But sort of like the activity points, like the professor activity points, you only have a certain number of things that you can do in a day.
Yes, yeah.
I like that. I like having.
I didn't get that far into the game to like mess with that, but maybe I'll play Persona 5 Royal when it comes out next year.
Yeah,
we'll see.
And then in other Smash news, so Terry from Fatal Fury is coming to Smash.
Fatal Fury.
I was just like,
not Street Fighter.
Yep. when they showed that when they were going back in time to the different consoles and everything, and then they landed on when they landed on Super NES, I was like, oh, here we go, they're making the announcement, Super NES Online and everything, and then they went like wah, and they went over to the Neo Geo. I was like, wait, what? And then started doing the Neo Geo thing, and then they started doing all the fighters and whatnot, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's a Smash thing because they talked about SNK. And that was a great video that they did, where it was basically like a Smash invitation and all the fighters like trying to reach it and custom animations and stuff. That was a lot of fun.
That was cool.
I'm not super familiar with SNK. I remember.
Me neither. Actually.
I think I remember seeing stuff about it because
from the looks, because I just remember he's like the Ryu of SNK basically.
Yeah.
Like
what I remember is it might have been on an arcade machine, maybe at like Joe's Diner or something growing up, because I remember the fighter where it's the girl with the hawk. I just remember that character from something. So that's the only thing that I could place it, because like that's the only thing I remember where there was consistently an arcade machine like nearby. So that'll be a weird thing. That's coming November 2019. They also mentioned that in addition to this current Fighters Pass, there are other DLC fighters in development. So, and then they also announced a bunch of costumes. Sans from Undertale. So
Sans.
That's really out of left field there.
Girl of the Hawk is from Samurai Showdown.
Oh, Samurai Showdown. Okay.
That's at least what I'm getting here.
Okay.
I looked it up real quick.
Okay. And there's a costume for Goemon, the mystical ninja.
Hidden gem on the N64, by the way. Mystical Ninja.
I think that, I think that game should get a remaster.
I would. So me and my youngest brother played the crap out of that game.
Yeah.
It has a full-on musical number with a giant mech.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
that game is a redonkulous game,
Yes.
and it's a game that doesn't take itself seriously at all. Which I always appreciate stuff like that.
Yep.
It was just, yeah, I had not played a game like that ever before I played that on the N64. I was like, what is this really weird, very Japanese game that
Yeah.
we are playing?
Yep. So, let's see what else we got. So today also Divinity Original Sin 2, Definitive Edition.
All right.
Yeah. And your Steam Cloud save, if you have it on Steam, will transfer over to the Nintendo Switch version.
That's interesting. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
If it wasn't for the fact that I have already finished the game, and I'm not sure I want to go play through it again because, holy crap, Divinity games take so long to finish, people.
Yeah, because it's turn-based.
It is turn-based, yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of going back and forth between town and everything. So, like, if you don't have, like, weird teleportation stuff set up, you spend a lot of time just running back and forth between various locations. And you don't move fast at all. I remember the first game, there was, like, a mod to just, like, auto-haste your people when not in combat, just so that you could move around.
Yeah.
But yeah, super great game. Very... let's put it this way. Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 kind of exemplify like modern D&D in a video game so much that Wizards tapped Larian to do the latest Baldur's Gate game. Because they were like, we love Divinity. We think it's emblematic of D&D. Please do Baldur's Gate. So, yeah. The writing is very like humorous and tongue-in-cheek, so if you're looking for like a super dark storyline, maybe not.
Maybe play Pillars of Eternity.
Maybe play Pillars, yeah. But even that, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's weird because like I feel like there's darker stuff that happens in Divinity.
Really?
But the writing, also there's like a lot more humorous moments in Divinity to offset that.
That's part of what turned me off to the original Divinity, actually.
Yeah.
And also, I just I didn't like the turn base as much as I liked the real time of Pillars.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're kind of like you said, the tongue in cheek humor just for whatever reason,
yeah,
kind of turned me off.
Yep. And yeah, especially if you're a big fan of like tactical stuff with a lot of environmental effects, Divinity is primo for that. Not so much in 2 because they kind of changed how everything works and like they added physical armor and magic armor, which are just like extra health bars that you have to reduce in order to affect people with statuses. Because magic was like completely off the walls broken in the first original Sin game, where it was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna create thunderclouds everywhere, and now suddenly no enemies can act at all ever, because you just get auto stunned the moment you enter one.
Yeah.
So yeah. Let's see what else. So tomorrow we get 2 things. There's a version 2.0 drop for Tetris 99 that introduces so like a whole bunch of basically like super like legend tier modes that really only matter if you're super good at Tetris, which I'm not and never will get to that point. So that's fine. But also a lot of multiplayer modes, which are cool, like up to 8-player Tetris Brawl type stuff.
All right.
And then daily quests and like special objectives and missions to get you points that you can use to unlock new themes. And that's what I was looking for. It was like, I know they've done them as events, but it would be really nice, like if you happen to miss the event for whatever reason, like if you were able to go back and there was some method to like purchase them.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have paid maybe like $1 or some nominal fee. But grinding them out with in-game points is even better.
Yeah.
So yeah, they show stuff like a Legend of Zelda theme, classic Tetris theme. I think there was like a Dr. Mario theme, which is an interesting crossover puzzle type thing.
A little bit.
I would love classic Tetris because I know I missed that event. Yeah, that's all I want when playing Tetris 99 is like just to listen to classic Tetris. But for the moment, I will have to settle for my Fire Emblem type stuff because, God, Fodlan Winds is just such a good track. So, and then also tomorrow, Super NES Online. It's coming. It's actually coming, folks.
Okay.
We're actually getting it. So here's the list of games that you will get. So as long as you have an online subscription, you will get these games for free. Super Mario World, Super Mario Kart, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Kirby's Dream Land 3, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, Stunt Race FX, Star Fox, F-Zero, Kirby's Dream Course, Pilot Wings, Brawl Brothers, which I've never heard of that game before.
No.
Breath of Fire. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
Demon's Crest, which has a whole different meaning for me still playing through Fire Emblem. Joe and Mac 2 Lost in the Tropics. I've never heard of that game before.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember Joe and Mac. I remember Joe Mac. I don't remember the sequel. Platformer.
Okay.
So, yeah, Joe Mac is like a platformer. It's like you're in prehistoric times. It's definitely
you know what?
Product of its time. Like you go around saving cave girls from dinosaurs.
Oh, okay.
And like you throw bones and you can get like different weapons. Sometimes you get like a stone wheel. Sometimes you get a boomerang.
Let me see. Maybe I've actually seen this game before.
I'd be surprised if you didn't.
Maybe it was the first game that I've seen before.
Probably. I
feel like
definitely remember the first one.
Okay. So let's see what else. Super EDF, Earth Defense Force. Never heard of that game either.
They still make Earth Defense Force games.
Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Oh God, you want to bash your head? You want to play the original Dark Souls? There you go.
Yep. There you go, folks. Side-scrolling Dark Souls.
Yeah.
What was that other game that we talked about? God, I can't remember. It has some like dark, edgy name or whatever, and it was pinned as like, oh, this is 2D Dark Souls. No, Super Ghouls and Ghosts is the original 2D Dark Souls with a touch of Battletoads, just for questionable game design. Super Puyo Puyo 2, available for the first time in the US apparently. Super Soccer and Super Tennis. So there's also a wireless controller for $30. Super NES controller designed for use with this stuff. I'm not going to be getting it because I would rather just use the Pro controller. That will work just as well. Yeah. So, and if it's anything like the NES Online, I would expect them to be releasing other, big name games. My hope is that they can get licensing for some of the bigger ones. I want Chrono Trigger. That's what I want. I want Chrono Trigger. Final Fantasy VI would be great.
You mean Final Fantasy 3?
Whatever. The one that appeared.
It is both. It is both those games. Both those games are the same game.
Yep. Because I have Final Fantasy 3, but I think it was the actual 3 on the DS. Because I remember them making a big deal about how it's never been released in the US before.
Yeah, they did a whole bunch of on the DS. They re-released all the ones that we didn't get. But yeah, on the Super Nintendo cart, Final Fantasy 3, on our Super Nintendo carts is actually Final Fantasy 6 for Japan.
Yeah. So yeah, I would love to see that. Turtles in Time would be great.
Turtles in Time.
I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, the whole Donkey Kong series.
Oh,
give me Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2. You can leave 3 out. Nobody likes 3.
They're all the same game to me.
Well, also, I could imagine you not enjoying 2 because it's centrally pirate themed.
Ugh.
You're fighting pirates though. All the Kremlings are pirates.
1 too.
It's like really just the final boss is on a pirate ship.
No, I guess you're right.
But that's where 2 starts. It starts on the pirate ship.
Okay.
and then you're fighting all the pirate crews to get up to Captain K. Rool in his, like giant airship lair, which then is where like I think it's where 3 picks up from, but instead of being a pirate now he's a mad scientist. So
Okay.
whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, Donkey Kong Country would be great. God, I'm trying to think of what else on the Super NES. I mean, I'm trying to think of what I have on the Super NES, and it's just like, you don't really need to re-release Lion King and Aladdin. Like,
their remasters of those are coming out.
Oh, really?
Like, I think, like, what they did with DuckTales?
Remember
they remade DuckTales?
Oh,
I
very
think
interesting.
They're doing that with Lion King and Aladdin. I thought I read something.
Oh, how very interesting.
that.
Except Capcom won't release it, like, anywhere, probably. Since, by the way, yeah, if you have, what is it? If you have, like, DuckTales Remastered downloaded anywhere, make sure that you don't delete it, because Capcom's pulling it from, like, every store.
Oh, are they doing like the Scott Pilgrim thing? Remember they had a Scott Pilgrim beat 'em up game that came out on Xbox Live.
Yeah, I keep trying every now and again. I keep forgetting that it's not out anywhere, and
yeah,
I'm like, you know what? I really want to play that game, and I keep looking for it, and I never find it.
So if you have an Xbox 360 with that game downloaded on it, it's actually quite valuable.
Yes. Yeah. Because it looked really good, and I was like, man, that looks like a great game. I want to play that.
And everyone said it was actually really fun.
Yeah.
I remember when it came out, I was like, oh, and I had a 360 at the time. I was like, I should download that. It was like a thing. It was like a backlog game that I never got around to.
Yep. So, oh, you know what we could get? Lost Vikings.
Ugh.
Just for Blizzard to like have something to remind people that was a thing. Aside from just being a weird character in HOTS.
Yeah, like Super Star Wars.
You know what? That whole trilogy of games would be really good.
Very difficult games.
Yeah.
Obviously Street Fighter 2, any version, like just put like Alpha 2 or whatever the best version is.
Yep.
Street Fighter 2 is.
OG Mortal Kombat with sweat.
Yeah.
now with sweat.
Yeah, with sweat.
Oh jeez.
Illusion of Gaia, or Gaia.
Yep.
Oh geez, there were these helicopter games. It was called like Jungle Strike and Desert Strike.
Yeah.
I played them on Sega, but they were on Super Nintendo too. I always liked them a lot.
Nice.
Let's see.
I can't really think of anything else.
Earthworm Jim.
Oh, Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim, great game.
Oh, is Kirby?
Zombies Ate My Neighbors?
Did I mention Kirby's All Stars? No, they could do Kirby's All Stars. I mean, if they're gonna do Kirby's Dream Land 3 and Kirby's Dream Course, or is it Kirby Superstar or whatever?
NBA Jam.
Yeah, that would be. I remember that one. I remember the original NBA Jam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was. We spent the whole time trying to do. That was if you did certain dunks, you would turn into the team mascot.
I don't quite remember.
I think it was something like that.
I also remember you could get like Bill Clinton.
Yes. Yes.
Again,
you could unlock Bill Clinton.
Game of the 90s.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, such a weird. Can you imagine a game these days having like Barack Obama or Donald Trump as like an unlockable
100%,
character?
100%. I can imagine that, and I don't know why it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Mega Man X, Secret of Mana.
Yep. Oh, I think there's a Mega Man Zero collection coming out.
Oh.
As well.
Like X collection?
Yeah, I think it's like a Zero and X collection or something.
Okay.
I think Capcom did announce that separately.
Cool.
So that's the problem is Capcom wants to kind of do their own thing and get money for it.
Yeah, of course they do.
So but yeah,
they still
Square.
Get money by
Square, get on that. Oh, Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, that's right. Super Mario RPG.
I'm just trying to think of stuff that's on the
stuff's on the Mini, isn't it?
It is. Except Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy. That's why I want them.
Chrono Trigger is on the 3DS? DS?
It's on the DS.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have it, but it requires booting up a DS of sorts and then playing it on there on a little teeny tiny screen. It's like, no, I want to play it on a TV or a monitor. Even if it looks bad.
Like there's a 3DS game that I really want to play called Radiant Historia. I'd really like it if they did it on the Switch.
Yeah.
I'd like to play it on the Switch rather than bust out my 3DS.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that'll be good. That'll be good. I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes out for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've had a real hankering to play like Donkey Kong Country 2 because that game has phenomenal music. So yeah. So things nobody saw coming. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast.
Okay.
Yeah. September 24th.
When did this game come out on PC? A long time ago.
I had never even heard of it. Let's put it that way.
I had heard of it. I've never played it. Kyle Katarn.
Yep. Assassin's Creed 4 and Rogue. So Black Flag and Rogue coming in a bundle pack in December. So I'm super excited for that. It means I'll be able to play my pirates again. Just listen to my crew sing shanties all day.
Yeah. Do
those super hard legendary ship battles. That I think was the most recent time I have thrown a controller. Because of how frustrating it was.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are ships where the ship has a particular gimmick. And it requires you to figure out a way to exploit that gimmick in order to defeat it. And if you don't, it just destroys you entirely. It's like one of the ships is has triple ramming damage and will just try and sail into you. And so you have to figure out how to trail behind it, but also avoid its swivel guns. And I think it also has some weird turning that it does. Or that if you're trying to set up a thing to get a good broadside on it, while you're doing that, it'll turn and then just go right into you and split you in half.
Get wrecked.
There's another one where it's it's twin ships, so you have to figure out how to defeat them, and if one goes down, the other one gets bonus damage or whatever. So you have to try and figure out how to defeat them both at the same time. But one is and what they'll do is they'll both try and circle you and then just broadside you from both sides. There's another one which is the marksman, and it just has every cannon you can imagine and long range gun that you can imagine. So it's just firing off everything everywhere, and it's just it's like trying to fight like a wizard in D&D or whatever, and they're just dropping meteor swarms everywhere on top of you. Or in Warcraft, and it's just, oh god, there's blizzard everywhere. Let's see, what else? Dauntless is still confirmed. I guess they've got a new bunch of stuff coming out for Dauntless to coincide with the Switch release. Witcher 3. Farming Simulator coming out in December. I just put that in because of memes. There's Ni no Kuni, the White Witch. I didn't get a release date on that one. I missed it in the presentation.
You would probably really like that game. I think you would really like that game. It's the art style's very charming. So this is a game that faked me out. I got it on PS3 when it originally came out, thinking, Studio Ghibli was involved heavily in this, so it looks like a Ghibli movie, and the writers and all this, and it was great. And the first few hours, I'm like, oh, this is great. I really like this story. It's a fun game. I like the way it looks. And then all of a sudden, it turned into Pokemon. So it's now you got to catch all these monsters you fought. Now you can catch them and use them in battle, and that's primarily how you battle, is using all these monsters you catch.
Nice.
And I quit right there.
Yep.
I was like, I'm done.
Yep.
I can't. It's not me. But I think that's a game you might like. So
to borrow a meme, every game is a hunter game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So we also got Call of Cthulhu coming out on October 8th. Devil May Cry 2 on the 19th. Vampire coming out end of October. And then Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition 2020.
Really feeling it.
Yep. Can't wait.
It's grind time.
I will gladly play through that game a second time on an updated system.
Nope.
100% will do it.
Actually, you want to know, I figured out I don't like the battle system in those Xenoblade games.
Including X?
I don't know. It's the same.
Honestly. Yeah, I mean it is, but yeah.
It's the same. Just has guns instead of other stuff. But it's just I don't know what it is. It's boring to me. The battle system in that is super boring. It's repetitive because like you eventually like, okay, this is the order I do my abilities in, and like that's just you do it every time pretty much.
Yeah,
but that's just me.
I mean, I just see it as setting up a rotation, which
right.
I mean that's basically every it's set up like an MMORPG, which I think it would have been awesome if they actually made it multiplayer, and then everybody's playing a different character.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the difference is like there's some positioning that does matter, I guess, because some of your moves are position based.
Yep.
But it's I don't know. It doesn't feel like fighting like in a raid, right? It's like there's not as much for me. It's not you're not thinking about as much stuff going on around you as you are in that, because it's just a different different mechanics and a different style. But
yeah.
I will say this. I mean, I watched all the spoilers of that game because when I quit, I was like, I still kind of want to know what happens. And obviously, it is super weird and super
100% your kind of plot. Yep.
Yeah, it totally gets
love it.
Bonkers. If I had just pushed a little further than I had gotten, I would have probably kept with it because I'm like, this story gets bananas and totally weird, and I'm all about it. But...
And that's definitely a game where, if you haven't played it before and you're intending to play it, like you need to avoid spoilers because the stuff that they come out with just is completely like what? Not nani?
Yeah. When I started watching the spoilers, like, what? This is okay. This took a hard left turn.
Like a lot of the villains, a lot of characters tangential to villains. Just allies. Who are they really allies?
Right.
It's just there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
And I think for me, like I enjoyed 2, but I didn't enjoy it as much as 1.
Yeah.
Although I liked so spoilers for those that haven't played the end of 2. I'm gonna give you 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, earmuffs. All right. So yeah, the fact that they tied it into Xenoblade 1, and that you hear those characters is great. And then the fact that you can then call Shulk and Fiora as blades, is awesome.
I hope that X is also somehow connected to those two.
So the thing is, it's not. Because it was never intended to be a Xenoblade game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was. They kind of slapped Xenoblade on it to give it a recognizable brand. It was originally supposed to just be almost like a fully fleshed out tech demo for a mech game.
Okay.
But then they were worried that like people wouldn't pick it up without a recognizable brand on it or something, so they called it Xenoblade Chronicles X. Yeah, it doesn't. They might have added in like some elements to kind of try and tie it in, but it wasn't intended to be
interesting
to be like a Xenoblade game. Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there theorizing that and trying to find ways to connect it.
Nah. Sorry, folks.
I'm still gonna believe.
Hey,
there's a connection.
I mean, if you want to believe that you could say that the calamity that enveloped Earth in the Xenoblade games is the same one in X that humans were trying to escape from at the beginning of the game. There you go. There's your headcanon tie-in.
Sure.
And it's just everywhere else, the rest of humanity just up and left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm super stoked. Be glad to see my boy Roy. Or not Roy, Ryan.
Roy?
He looks like Roy from Fire Emblem. He looked like Roy and Ike mashed together because he's got the red hair, but he's beefy like Ike.
Time.
I'm tired.
Ryan time.
Ryan time and Ricky.
Ugh.
Can't wait for
That's
my...
also kind of why I quit. I couldn't stand that character.
Ricky's the best. Also, just meme-worthy shirtless Dunban.
Well, okay.
how shirtless Dunban is actually a build, like an evasion tank build. It's you have to unequip all your armor from him, and he gets super bonuses. And it's like, why? Why would you do that?
Perfect.
Oh, Monolith. It's also like you have to go through an entire talent tree to get that talent too. And it's just like, when not wearing any armor, Dunban gets like plus 40% evasion. And it's like, do I really want to do this?
Yes.
I suppose I do.
Yes.
Yeah. Also a game where, everybody can wear swim trunks. Like you can just run around and it like, it's weird in that it's kind of like in Final Fantasy VII, the old, like kind of ultimate weapons on how like, they had, or maybe it was other weapons where like they had super AP growth, but no materia slots. And then there were other ones that had like no AP growth and no materia slots and everything. It was like the nail bat.
Right. Yeah, there were a couple weapons route.
They were like joke weapons that were super powerful.
Yeah.
But they also had like no materia growth on them.
Yeah, correct.
And I don't think they had any slots either. So it was like, if you're going to take the nail bat, you better mean serious business, because you get no magic. That's like equipping all your characters with swim trunks in Xenoblade, where it's like they actually provide really good stats. But it's just weird.
There's a few JRPGs that do stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's situationally good. So it's like in certain instances, like if you're fighting in rain, or like if you're like in water or something, like you get super bonuses. Yeah. So I think that kind of wraps up the Nintendo Direct news. Let's see my notes. There was also a Tokyo Mirage and Fire Emblem crossover coming for one of those games. The Rogue Company, Pokemon Sword and Shield news, in that there's like a little Pokemon camp thing in as part of the game. They showed a bunch more Pokemon, so to give you an idea of what Pokemon are going to be allowed in the game. And they announced some new ones. There's one which is like a Cormorant. I think it's like Camarant or something. Has a weird ability where when it uses Surf or Dive, specifically those two moves, it catches a fish. And then if it gets hit while it has a fish in its mouth, it uses like a fish missile attack or something as a reaction. And deals like massive damage as it spits a fish at the enemy.
Okay.
Very weird. And basically kind of requires you to just use that, like, spam Surf over and over again, which is weird because like normally you don't get it until late in the game, typically. The other one is some kind of teapot ghost. It is a ghost type Pokemon that haunts a teapot. So it like has this little floating teapot with a ghost that peeks its head out and has weak armor as a skill, as an ability. So that as it gets hit, it loses defense and special defense, but gets increased speed. Is I think what that is. Yes, Driz. It's called Poltegeist.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, I'm fully expecting people to complain about how it's another unimaginative Pokemon. At least this time, like it's a ghost that inhabits something, as opposed to like the Pokemon itself is a key ring, or something. Which, for the record, I have no problem with, because we originally came from a generation where it was just a literal Pokeball was the Pokemon, and then its evolved form was an upside down Pokeball.
Yeah.
or piles of sludge, or a seal. So, yeah. And I really like the weird ghost type Pokemon that they do. Yeah, they had one that was a haunted sandcastle in Alola, in like Sun and Moon, that I thought was really cool, and was the first ground, or no, it wasn't the first ground ghost type, but it was a weird one. Like, and if it got hit with water type attacks, would gain increased defense because you got the sand wet and it started to compact and turn into like mud. So that was cool. And I think that does wrap up our Nintendo Direct coverage and the news for this week. So I think it's time for what's going on. Just run through really quick with 8-Bit Adventures. All right. So because we're kind of pushing an hour and a half already, I'll keep this quick. Stream for this week for 8-Bit Adventures Game Night. The polls are closing, folks. So let's see. Let's do a live count right now and see what we're doing, how we're doing. Because the poll was, will I be playing Fire Emblem, or will I swallow my pride and give the people what they want and play WoW Classic on Thursday night? And oh god, Facebook, why are you so terrible? Okay,
just part of it.
Poll ends in a half hour. Right now, WoW Classic is leading by 4 votes.
Ooh.
So, yeah, in the likely event that WoW Classic wins, I have a Night Elf Hunter ready to go on Windseer, which is a normal type server, so non-PvP server, Eastern time. And I will be just killing, about like 9,000 spiders, because that is what is in Teldrassil. Also, Teldrassil's back, baby.
Hey, Teldrassil's there.
It's magically unburned now. So yeah, and you all should come watch and experience my pain as I have to buy like 37,000 arrows and lose a bag slot to have a quiver.
The struggle of bag space in general.
Yeah, I'm not gonna enjoy going from what do I have now? Like a 34 slot bag. I have like 6 34 slot bags to like a 6 slot bag.
To maybe just having your regular starting backpack until level 10.
Yeah. Yep.
If you don't get lucky and get drops off.
I think a bunch of early quests gave you like a 4 slot bag. I mean, at least it does for the Alliance.
There might have been one, but
because I definitely remember those. I definitely remember those from way back in the day, and like you would get, it's like a messenger's pouch, and it's like 4 slots.
Yeah, maybe.
And another one was like a penny pouch. It was one where it was like a 4 slot bag that came with a copper in it. So yeah, I will likely be playing that. So be sure to check that out. Unless, of course, you want to see me play Fire Emblem, in which case, go vote. Time's running out. And then for the people that are listening on audio, the poll's closed. So go watch me likely play WoW Classic. Podcasts. Berkshire Bites. We had a new episode of Berkshire Bites this week. Megan and I went to Desperados. Megan got margaritas and I got chimichangas.
Okay.
And that probably pretty much exemplifies our relationship. But we had a great time. We really like Desperados up in North Adams. And yeah, super tasty. And I don't know of any place else where I can get chimichangas. So yeah, they're great. So unhealthy and so great. Yeah. And then Friday, Tales of Jamora the Kraken's Wake returns.
Oh yeah.
And we'll be doing a bit of a rewind from Josh's sort of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure ending moment of once again causing trouble with the Twill guards. That was due to a miscommunication and not understanding what was going on. So yeah.
And
so
guess what?
Yep.
None of this is my fault.
No. For once. Yeah. So we'll see the party have to contend with Twixen's curse and figure out where we're gonna go from there. Yeah, this is gonna be another one where I will probably be shooting from the hip for most of the session, because I have a couple of ideas where you folks might go, but I said that last time and y'all went in a completely different direction. Because Sean is an exemplary role player of providing flaws. So, and then as far as comics, latest comic, known issue. So, in addition to the patch notes, there is a known bug. And the known bug is NPCs are no longer spawning in the 8-Bit Adventures world due to this latest patch. Which, for NPCs, respawning, if I said spawning. Which means that if they die for reals until the problem gets solved. So, that's, That suddenly goes from like, okay, yeah, I did my work for the day. All right, I'm out. I'll respawn back in a couple hours. I'm just going to chill here in the weight room, to like, oh no, now, yeah, like where do we go? Like, do we just go back to the weight room? Who knows? So yeah. And then, Chef Monty will be, as a teaser for those that aren't patrons, will be the Speedy and Monty comic this week. So if you'd like to see it, you can consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/8bitadventures. So yeah. But yeah, the big thing, WoW Classic. So I promised in the pre-show, I promised Josh that I would tell a story of what may happen. So I'm playing a hunter, or I will be playing a hunter. Hunters can get pets. As an Alliance hunter, there are certain pets that I have easy access to, and certain pets that I don't have easy access to. Those being, including turtles and raptors, which is what I want. So this means I will either have to take the slightly more dangerous route of basically walking across a continent and aggroing a bunch of high-level mobs and killing me, and likely having my ghost run across the continent and then respawning right there. Or doing what I did way back in college when friends of mine told me that was the dangerous route, and I, being new to MMORPGs, went, oh no, danger! What should I do, friends? And they said, well, you could do this other way of... And apologies for those that aren't familiar with Warcraft, because these descriptions might be a bit meaningless. But, so as a night elf, taking the boat from Dark Shore to the wetlands, because that was a thing, and then going from Menethil Harbor in the wetlands and running all along the coastline, all the way from the wetlands to Booty Bay. Which is, instead of running across a continent, running pretty much the entire length of a continent. And then that took a sizable chunk of time. Lost a pet in the process. Just got mad because he wasn't being fed and ran off. Made it all the way down to Stranglethorn Vale and then died to... So basically was trying to avoid raptors on shore, wandered too close to that island with the water elementals, and then got chased by a water elemental and died. And then got eaten by a crocolisk, and then made it to Booty Bay. Took the boat from Booty Bay to Ratchet, and then was like, great, I made it. Okay, now here are raptors and turtles. This time around, I might just run from Dark Shore to Ratchet, because that's much shorter, and will not take me like 3.5 hours of in-game, of out-of-game time. Yeah. So imagine 3.5 hours of just running along the coast. And like most of the Eastern Kingdoms, it's like just straight up and down. So it's just like kind of running along, like clipping along the edge of like this mountain, just running at like the water's edge. And there's no enemies. There's nothing. And it was just, okay, I'm just running. All right, when am I going to see something? And I hope I don't see something because it might kill me. But yeah. Great story. However, I may put that up as a poll, so be on the lookout for that, listeners and watch and viewers. Depending on what you want to see, if you want to see me recreate my initial, I guess you could call it journey from the west to the west.
Yes.
In search of raptors and turtles, or if I should just take the direct route. So yeah. So let us then move into what is going on with Questlog. All right, so this will also probably be pretty quick because, yeah, I don't think you and I have any. I don't think Josh and I have anything new to report from last week.
Nope, I am still on the path to becoming the best shaman in WoW Classic. Easy, just hit level 30.
Just and two-handed Wind Fury procs.
Got my Wind Fury weapon. When that Fury, it's the best. So here's another thing WoW Classic gets. Wind Fury was way better in Cold WoW. Wind Fury is lame now. 5% haste buff.
Yep.
Boo. This proc is fun. Whenever it hits, it's like seeing all those numbers fly up. It's like, yes. It's way more satisfying.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm still just chugging away at leveling my shaman. And
are you doing just like fun. Are you just doing like the standard enhancement build?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't looked up what it is, so I mean,
I just know like certain class, like Mage has this weird. I remember Mage having this weird hybrid build that was like specifically for Pyroblast, but it was like you didn't actually pursue down the bottom of a talent tree. It was like you ended up picking like 15 points in each tree.
Yeah.
Just for like spamming Pyroblast.
Yeah.
It was something weird like
fine.
that. Yeah. So yeah. I will definitely be going Beast Mastery. And I didn't realize that it's the recommended specialization for hunters in Classic, I guess. So
recommended by who?
The guides on Wowhead. So I mean, it might just be for leveling and like doing dungeon, like to gear up for raids.
Maybe. I don't know.
And then I don't know, switch over to marksman or something. But yeah.
Enhanced for life. There's no other spec for shaman as far as I'm concerned.
Fair. Are you doing tank shaman?
Oh my god. Well, I know it's kind of annoying.
Rock biter. Yeah.
Yeah. So also it's not called nature shock. Earth shock.
Yep.
Earth shock generates threat.
Yep.
It's like at the moment it's my most powerful of my shock spells, so
yep.
Come on. Why?
Tank shaman.
Why? Yeah, and rock biter, obviously.
It's back when enhancement shamans were intended to be off tank.
So
in some cases, which was weird. Yeah. So
I just want to hit things with my weapon and see lots of numbers fly off and put totems down for the team, I guess.
Huh. So having a big two-handed weapon, seeing lots of damage numbers pop up, and providing buffs for your team. I wonder what that sounds like.
Yeah.
Folks, to get this reference, be sure to watch Tales of Jamora: The Kraken's Wake on Fridays. It's Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And find out.
Hey.
The only difference is the totems move with you.
No, they stay where you put them.
No, I mean in D&D. Yeah, the
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, yes.
You are the totem.
I am the totem. Yep. That's right.
So,
the ultimate totem.
Yep. And then I've just been playing more Fire Emblem. Both 3 Houses and 3 Houses got me back to downloading Fire Emblem Heroes. So I've been playing that. I do like it's nowhere near as complex as 3 Houses, or I presume any other like standard like series Fire Emblem game.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little like, again, it gives you that puzzle element of like, okay, where do I move my units and everything. But it's even more so like, okay, how do I just one shot these people? I do like there is an event right now where I think it's or it might not be an event. It's if you have 3 houses and you've linked your Nintendo account to heroes, you get Byleth as a bonus hero.
Okay.
Yeah. Byleth is super strong, as you might expect. Can counterattack at any range. So it's like enemies attack him from like 2 squares away with magic, and Byleth's just like, screw your magic. Sword.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sword magic.
Yeah, sword magic. Yeah, and apparently Hubert, Hilda, Mercedes, and one other person, maybe Edelgard, are in the game as unlockable heroes that you can
Pretty
get.
sure Petra's in it.
That's who it is. It's Petra, not Edelgard, because Petra's
girl,
way
Petra.
better. Yep. I have her on my current route.
She's who I romanced my first game.
She actually, she had a nice paralogue with Bernie.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
That was great. And you got to pick your route, which was like, let's go through this route that's full of soldiers and unlock groups and unlock a stronghold with more friends. And Bernie's like, no, let's not do any of that. Let's go the route with no people. I like no people. And then it turns out, oh no, they're surprise people.
I just came along to look at the plants.
Yeah. I'm just here because you guilt tripped me too, and I'm just going to look at the plants. Yep. So, yeah, and just building up all of my supports. So, now, come to find out, after the time skip, when all of your support conversations can go, like, they unlock them all. Yeah. Now, everything's right in the world, and all supports are where they should be. It was like, oh no, like it's all chaos, it's all out of whack. And then like the time skip happened, it was like everything ordered itself, and I was like, oh, yes. Thankfully. Yeah. The only thing is I haven't gotten Ash back yet, so Mercedes is sad.
Oh.
And she cannot be allowed to be sad, so I have to go find Dimitri and poke his eye and get Ash back.
Oh. Wait, what? What do you mean? How? What's why is Ash not with you?
So I think he's one of the key characters for Blue Lions if you're not playing as Blue Lions. So like you have to defeat him in order to get him back.
Oh, okay.
So I have to get through that mission in order to get him back.
Gotcha.
So yeah. Which is weird because like almost like none of the Black Eagles decided to side with Edelgard.
Probably just Hubert.
Yeah. But I didn't want him anyways. And I can't recruit him anyway. So, but yeah, it was like they were all just like, yeah, we're just going to stay here with you. Yep. So yeah, that is going to wrap it up for this evening. Thank you for joining us, folks. Hope you had a good time. If you would like to see more content from 8-Bit Adventures, be sure to check out 8-bitadventures.com. Over there, you can find podcasts, streams, comics, artwork, and more. If you'd like to help support that content, you can do so in 2 separate ways. You can either subscribe to this stream here on Twitch, either using a regular subscription, and it's September this month, so subscriptions are half off. Or if you have Amazon Prime, you can use an Amazon Prime or a Twitch Prime subscription, which you get 1 free Twitch Prime subscription a month. And what it does is it helps the channel, and it doesn't actually cost you anything extra. Or if you don't want to do that, but you still want to help support, you can become a patron at patreon.com/8bitadventures. Patrons get cool access to exclusive content and early access to standard content. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. So yeah, big shout out and thank you to all of our current patrons. Thank you very much for making podcasts like Berkshire Bites possible. Our opening theme is One Up by Professor Shy Guy. You can find his awesome work at professorshyguy.bandcamp.com. And with that, we are signing off, folks. So have fun, everyone. Happy gaming, and enjoy your pie cake.